Oceans are full of surprises. They house many unbelievable and enormous species of aquatic animals. We already know about some of these, but still many new species have been discovered in recent years. There are uncountable organisms present underwater, and since the day humanity has started exploring the depths of these water bodies, we've realized that the marine ecosystem is more rich and exceptional than any other. Modern technology and increased numbers of professional divers have made it more convenient to explore the underwater world and bodies. Today we're going to show you some astonishing discoveries which divers will probably never forget. From an underground prison to a whale following a boat to a strange tank graveyard. Here's a brief look at the 15 most terrifying discoveries that gave divers nightmares for weeks to come. But before we get started, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more such amazing content. Horror movie Madman. This is a strange lake and at first sight you may feel scared. Be mindful, it's a replica of Jason Voorhees prepared by an artist. A villain from the renowned horror movie Friday the 13th, where a killer wearing an awful mask stalks camp counselors. Imagine the diver with a strange outlook diving and swimming across the lake. Some people may consider it a dead body. Well, this underwater scary statue is situated in Crosby, Minnesota. Most of the divers come to know about its existence before diving into the lake. However, those who get into the lake without knowing about this freaky monster may feel their heart ceasing to function when encountering it deep in the water. Ocean vortex. Anyone fond of diving ought to be a skilled swimmer because one can easily get caught in the ocean vortex. This group of divers was caught in a vortex current running parallel to the surface of the water. Very scant information is available about this natural phenomenon, as its occurrence has been reported at just a few diving sites around the world. The most practical advice to survive is to be calm and swim up perpendicularly. Well, it's an uphill task. Those who encountered the vortex were mostly professional divers who managed to come out safely. Whirlpools in oceans may last on average up to 198 days. This means if you don't come out at the earliest, you may face immense trouble. Don't be too afraid, as the chances of swimming into these whirlpools are pretty thin. Diving under a freight liner. Diving in busy waters can be quite dangerous. In this footage, we can see a diver swimming at the bottom of the Sinclair River in Northern America. We can also see a black monstrous ship moving towards him. The scene is scary enough to paralyze any diver because it might just be a large, dangerous fish or a bloodthirsty shark. Well, this was a huge ship whose big motor started to move towards the diver. The sight of a tremendous propeller approaching must have caused an adrenaline overdrive. The wise diver maintained his calm and safely stayed low and let the monstrous ship pass by. Surely, panic could have cost his life, or at least the loss of a limb. Megalodon returns. In the past, not far away, a blockbuster movie, Meg, that showed what would happen if the Megalodon was discovered in present times. Megalodons were the largest sharks that ever existed, and they are now extinct. Scientific research has shown that megalodons varied in length from 50 to 59 feet. They apparently vanished from the Earth about 3.6 million years ago. And certain people speculate the shark swimming in this video might be one of them. Bewildered people rushed to take a glance at the huge animal. Some people identified it as a basking shark. These are gigantic but not aggressive or harmful. They can attain a size of up to 26 feet long and are regarded as the second largest shark existing at present after the whale shark. Assertions that megalodons don't exist may not be wholly true, as the coelacanth, which was considered to be extinct, was caught some time ago. Sunken prison. Any history nerd will be excited to visit an old sunken prison, provided he possesses excellent diving skills. In 1991, while USSR was in the process of decay, an old Soviet Union prison built at the edge of a limestone quarry in the Estonian capital city of Tallinn was abandoned, which was soon converted into a new lake. The submerged prison, with several parts worth exploring underwater, can be seen from the bank. It has become a popular tourist destination. A large number of locals roam around the area and dive into the lake to explore the rich history below the water surface. The area is nicknamed Blue Lagoon. One can see the old vintage mining implements, machinery, brick walls, barbed wire and prison cells. It can be accessed by rail, bus, taxi or car. Stranded in the ocean. You must have seen many movies showing people stranded right in the center of the ocean. People who watch these movies must fear falling victim to a similar fate. Jacob Child faced such a situation when he disappeared from a group of diving expeditions off the southeast coast of Queensland, Australia, and an elaborate air and sea search had to be carried out in order to find him. 30-year-old Jacob thought it would be his last moment when the sun started rising. In the footage, he can be seen giving up hope. He disappeared when he couldn't find a rope to hold onto and he drifted away. Fortunately, he was rescued by a plane flying about 8 miles away from their diving site. He remained stranded for 6 hours, but was lucky enough not to encounter any predators. Creepy cave sign. Ginny Springs in Florida is famous for its mesmerizing and spacious cave systems. Several of these are underwater. Accident statistics indicate 3 reasons for the perishing of divers in underwater caverns: poor use of guidelines, paucity of reserve gas, and diving beyond the lay-down limits of breathing equipment. 9 out of 10 divers perishing meet this fate because of lacking formal training in cavern or cave diving. Devil's Eye is a cave with a circular opening 20 feet across, and a diver on reaching a 50-foot depth finds a frightening sign reading, "Stop, prevent your death, there is nothing in this cave worth dying for." Even a Grim Reaper is also painted on the sign. The thought of being lost in the underwater caves is nightmarish. Christmas tree under frozen lake. Extreme cold climate prevails in most of the Russian regions. A 3-person group of Russian ice swimming enthusiasts dived to place an artificial Christmas tree at the bottom of Lake Baikal. They just wore trunks, socks, and Santa hats. They danced in extremely cold water under Christmas tree as the temperature there was just above 0 degrees Celsius, where the air temperature above the surface was minus 23 degrees Celsius. Despite being professional divers for several years, they faced unprecedented difficulties as they swam under the ice. Subsequently, the plastic grain Christmas tree was brought back to the surface to avoid pollution in the lake. They also brought back some car tires from the bottom of the lake. Giant ray swims with shark. In this footage from Trinidad, a shark is seen teaming up with a manta ray. If these rays somehow learn to fly, it'll be catastrophic for humanity. Seeing this scene while being in the water would truly flabbergast the individual. Nikhil Kapana, a DJ, shared his video along with its scenario. Manta rays are usually found in tropical and subtropical waters. This species of fish grows up to 23 feet long and weighs about 3,000 kilograms. These are different from stingray and much smarter, therefore less chance for humans to get hurt. Over the years, their population has drastically reduced due to overfishing for Chinese medicines. Underwater tank graveyard. In April 1944, just before Normandy landings during World War II, a huge training exercise named Operation Smash was held on Dorset Beach. During tank maneuver, far offshore resulted in the sinking of about 7 of 32 tanks, where 6 people also lost their lives. Keeping in view this tragic trial, the British and Canadians on D-Day of the European offensive did not launch their tanks. Most of the American tanks sank during the same campaign. This area has now been taken over by nature and turned into a bizarre sight. People come to see these at a depth of 65 meters. Since 8th of September 1944, it has become an underwater museum known as the Graveyard of Tanks. Buried at sea. People had been discussing the fictitious underwater city of Atlantis for ages now. Some don't believe that it's real, while others are always hoping to learn more about it. Kim Brendel designed what is now known as Atlantis Reef Project, which is the biggest provider of cremation services in the US. It's used as a graveyard for human remains underwater. Families get to choose from many different designs for burying cremated remains of their loved ones, and little mementos like fishing lures or crucifixes on the concrete, and a particular memorial can be placed by divers about 40 feet underwater. These memorials are mammoth structures having immense weight over 50 tons. Smaller sculptures also weigh about 10 pounds. The reef design also helped the fish and coral reefs to grow. It's attracted more than 56 fish species since 2007. In addition, the ecosystem has also progressed at a rapid pace. It's a popular spot and situated off the coast of Miami, Florida. Jacob's Well. Jacob's Well is a spring extending over a mile beneath the surface into a complicated cave system. At least 9 people have succumbed to death while diving here. Hence, it's considered one of the most horrific diving places. There are 4 deep caves with openings so narrow that divers require to remove their gas tanks to pass through. The story narrated by one of the divers who recovered one of the bodies has made it further scarier. You cannot judge the direction and can't even see your gauges as you're scraping the bottom and striking gas tanks on the top. It's not possible to fall back unless trained well. Despite these scary stories, several people ignore the rules and directly dive into the current. Jacob's Spring is a nice visiting spot, but one needs to be careful. Killer whales chase boat. Killer whales are pretty intelligent creatures. They can swim swiftly, reaching up to 56 miles an hour, and catching a boat going at a speed of 25 miles per hour is not a difficult task for them. These whales typically swim at around 3 to 4 miles an hour. In this footage, whales are moving approximately 25 miles per hour, however they can go up to 40 miles in a short span. Some viewers commented that it might be a false video, however most of them don't find it a fraud, as killer whales are physiologically capable of attaining these high speeds. Pillow lava. You rarely hear of lava oozing from under the water surface. Yes, lava can flow underwater from fissures at rift zones. The layer of lava flowing underwater cools down much faster than it does in the air. Air pillow lava is formed only underwater when lava is pressed out like toothpaste through the thin skin of the floor. The surface of the new pillow rapidly solidifies, and these layers can reach up to 1 meter in diameter and can be seen by divers, but it can be dangerous. Amateurs should avoid such ventures. Before moving on to number 1 in this list, take a look at this unbelievable image that has people all over the internet arguing about whether it's real or not. The debate has sparked by this image of a diver approaching a huge and terrifying creature that looks a lot like a dinosaur. Some believe it might be the legendary Loch Ness monster. It could be an undiscovered marine species too, but there's a much greater chance that this is just a photoshopped image. What do you think? See you later, alligator. Encountering an alligator just after diving would be nightmarish for a diver. The alligators in this footage don't seem real, however people pay to swim with these terrifying creatures. Divers are required to take all necessary safety measures and adhere to the rules. They can't dive without an alligator expert. Diving is permitted only in winters or when the water is cold, as the alligator's appetite is reduced. Diver has to move out of the danger zone immediately because alligators can attack you under the water, as they generally tend to remain close to the bottom. Alligators attack the silhouette formed against the light, therefore divers need to stay as far away from the alligator's head as they can. They usually don't attack objects bigger than their size. Divers should try to get close to alligators who are calm. The safety protocols require divers to have appropriate knowledge about alligators. Despite all the precautionary measures, we recommend you guys visit alligators in a zoo instead of going swimming with them. That's all about the most frightening things found underwater. Do tell us in the comments which one you think is the scariest. We'll be back soon with another mind-blowing video for you guys. Until then, you can visit our channel to check out more of these videos, and don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss out on our latest releases. See you later.